Hey, what's up, YouTube? Okay, so let's talk about this week. So we took midterms, and so for my family midterm, I got an A on that. I got a 96. I actually almost got 100, but I switched two of my answers around, so that kind of sucked. So, word of advice: if you are confident with your answers, don't switch them, because a lot of the time, go with your gut. Your gut is always right. Well, not always, but for the most part, it'd be right. OB, I got a C on that test. I think I got a 76 or something like that. What else? This week was a really short week because it was Thanksgiving, so we didn't have a clinical. I finished all my alternative clinical assignments early, so I didn't have to worry about doing any of those. And I just pretty much try to study for my ATI, which we will be taking next week. So pray for me on that. I'm just praying that I haven't failed any yet. I'm just knock on wood, I don't fail any starting now. But yeah, that's it. It was a pretty short week. That's all we did was go in and pretty much take our midterms, and that was it. So I will see you guys next week. Bye. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Okay, so this week we took our ATI. Again, just like all the rest of them, 70 questions. 60 are scored. We get like an hour and 5 minutes to complete the test. Unfortunately, I did not pass my ATI for the first time, you guys. I forgot to knock on wood. Y'all noticed that up in the first clip. But to be for real though, like, I really don't like making excuses for things, but I really had some heavy shit on my mind the day before and the day of, and I really couldn't focus. Like, every time I would try to study, my mind would just veer off somewhere, and then when I was taking the test, I just could not, like, remember anything for some odd reason. And, like, thinking back on a lot of the questions, I'm like, oh my god, I knew the answer to that. But I'm not gonna let it, like, get me down or anything. We do have another opportunity to take it, so I definitely will be studying my ass off to do that, and also taking my finals. So it kind of sucks that I have to, be prepared for this ATI and my finals in the same week. But, as long as I can buckle down and study, everything, I'm trusting that it will go well. It just has not been the best week for me. It's just been kind of bad. But I'm just trusting in, what God has in store for me. And, hopefully I'll come back to you guys next week with better news. So I will see you guys later. Bye. Okay, YouTube, let's talk. So, finals week and ATI retake. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I know you guys want to know how I did on my ATI, but I'm going to leave that for last to talk about, just because I know y'all want to know how I did. Okay, so for my OB final, I had to turn up on that because I did not want to fail that class. I got a 90% on my final. Hey, now. I ended up getting a C overall in the class though, and I mean, I'm happy that I passed, so I don't really care that I got a C. But honestly, in all honesty, I could have did better. I could have, but I slacked on my studying for that class because I hated it. And even though I hated the class, it's not a reason to not study for it, and I just kind of use that as my excuse. So don't do that. If you don't like the class, just study, whatever, because, like, I definitely could have did better. And then I missed out on, like, damn near 10% of my grade because I was late, like, coming from work. I get off of work at 7. Sometimes I'll be leaving, like, at 7:30, and then classes at 8:30, and I have to get there, and then the tests are, like, the pop quizzes are, like, in the beginning of the class, and if I'm, like, a little bit late, then I miss them. So, yeah. Definitely could have did better, but I'm happy that I passed. Woohoo! OB is over and done with. Thank the Lord Jesus Christ. What else? Family health assessment, our genome project. That's basically, I had to do like a health a family health history of 4 generations of my family. I was doing that project, y'all, and I was almost done, and the whole thing just deleted. So I had to do the whole thing over. I was having like a really rough ass week. And I thought like, oh my god, I'm not even gonna get all of my points for this because I just made it so plain and I did it quick, and I ended up getting 48 out of 50 points. Hey, turn up. And for my family final, I got a 96 on Turn Up. I would have got 100, but again, I switched two of the answers around, acting retarded. But yeah, that was really good. So I took my OB ATI over. So you guys know I usually like to show you guys the book, but I had to return it today. And yeah, I passed it, y'all. Hey, turn up! I'm so happy. First of all, that test was hard as shit, because I think they used a whole different version of the book than what we use, because it was just different questions that wasn't really emphasized in our version, because we take the 2013 version, and then the retake was the 2010 version, but that was like, it's from a whole different book. So you just kind of got to use your best judgment, because some of the stuff was off a little bit, like some, like, let's say for hyperemesis gravidia, or whatever, however you pronounce it, for hyperemesis, usually it's for a person that's after 12 weeks of gestation. They constantly keep throwing up. They just can't keep anything down after they're pregnant, and you know, they're losing all its weight, blah blah blah, right? So with the 2010 version, it's saying that she's 10 weeks gestation. So it's like, is she experiencing will we diagnose her with hyperemesis if she's 10 weeks? Because our book said 12. You know, it was just like a little bit off, so you have to use your best judgment. I'm talking way too much. But anyway, just know that I passed, y'all, and it is motherfucking official. We are halfway done with nursing school. Turn the fuck up. I am so excited. I know y'all can tell I am so excited. I just want to drink, like, I just need a drink, for real. Okay, y'all, I had to calm down a little bit. I got so turned up, I forgot I had a couple of questions to answer. I'm going to answer these real quick for you guys. So, Gomez16 said, how well did you know human anatomy before you joined a school? So, I'm guessing you mean before I got accepted into nursing school, like how well did I know my anatomy and physiology? It was a requirement to take anatomy and physiology 1 and 2. But as far, like, I knew enough to, like, pass the class. I passed with, I think, B's for both classes. But as far as, like, being a genius at it and knowing everything about it, like, I still, you know, have to go over stuff now being in nursing school. So I would say, you know, you don't have to be a genius. Just know what you need to know to pass the class, and then things will stick to you as you start to get used to them. Don't feel like you just need to be a fucking dictionary or walking human anatomy and physiology book to get up in school, because you don't. Not at all. Next question was from Raina Riles. Do you think a nursing school will accept you if you have a couple of C's? Of course. You know, I wouldn't say go in with just all C's, because they usually have like a GPA requirement of like a 2 point something. And if you have a few C's, I think that's fine, because I had a couple of C's and I got accepted with no problem, you know, just as long as you know, have the correct GPA, and then if you have to take like a entrance exam or something, as long as you get the right score on that, and if they make you write like a statement or whatever, you know, like the letter of why you want to be a nurse or whatever, you know, just make that good, and just, you know, fluff yourself up. If you feel like you got a couple C's and you're like a little like iffy about it, just fluff yourself up in other ways, and then they'll bypass those couple of C's, because they got my ass up in there, and y'all know I'm crazy as shit. So I guess a couple C's don't matter. And then somebody else, I don't know who it was, but they addressed about my nose ring and my piercings. They asked, like, was I able to wear these as a clinical? It depends, honestly. We're not supposed to, but it depends on your clinical instructor, because some of my clinical instructors said something and others didn't at all. So it just depends on your clinical instructor. But just to be safe, they do have like clear nose rings that you can wear. I did wear that for like my first term, like the clear ones, just to be on the safe side, because my teacher was a little strict the first term. But other than that, you know, It's okay. And so you guys, I'm going on winter break, 3 weeks. Turn the fuck up. Hey y'all. So I guess I'll see you guys in February with another update. But we could do a Q&A. So if y'all got questions, just leave all your questions below and then we'll make a video, okay? Bye.